Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, my name is Arif and I'm a first year student enrolled at ESSEC Business School for the Grand École MIM program. If you've been watching this channel, you know that I came to France around 6 months back in September of 2020. Initially, I was able to go to school and have my classes normally on campus, but then after the lockdown, we all were confined. Since it's just been 6 months for me, I haven't been able to get the full experience here in France. And that's why for this video, I have invited one of my close friends back from Manipal who has been studying here in France for the last 3 years. So without wasting any further time, let's jump right into the conversation. And yeah, after you watch this video, do make sure that you visit Mayank's channel because we made a video on his channel as well. It's a very interesting video where basically we are comparing HEC's MIM curriculum with ESSEC MIM curriculum. And I'm sure that you will get something valuable out of it. So yeah, let's just go back into this video and then you can go check the other video on Mayank's channel. Hey, hi Mayank, how is it going?
Hey man, it's going great. How are you?
I'm great. So thank you for coming on to the channel. And I have known you for a long time, but I think for my viewers, they are watching you for the first time. Maybe they have watched your channel, but yeah, for the ones who are watching you for the first time, why don't you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Alright, so my name is Mayank. I'm a second year student at HEC Paris doing a specialization in marketing. And I'm going to be graduating this year. So I just have a couple of more months left and then I'm not going to be at HEC anymore. Yeah, I've been here for like more than 2 years now. So this is like my third year of the program, third and final year. So I've been here quite a while.
That's awesome. So let's jump right into what we talked about. And so just tell us in short, what is one of the biggest difference that you have noticed when you first came to France and maybe now, and then we'll dive deep into the other aspects.
All right. So yeah, it's a heavy question. I'm going to give a heavy answer. So I feel like when I came to France for the first time, right, 2.5 years back, I was, there were a couple of things which I was like really unsure of. One, career-wise, I was not very sure of where I was going. I knew that I wanted to do marketing, but I didn't know like where in marketing because I didn't have that many experiences. Similarly, you know, I came here straight from Manipal and nobody else from my college, nobody else from Manipal came to HEC, you know. So when I came here, I had to make friends all over again. I didn't have any friends. And I had to essentially build up my social life from scratch. So it was like a completely new experience for me, not just like from a social aspect, but also from a professional aspect. And then moving from computer science to management, which was like a pretty significant shift as well.
Leap, yeah.
You know, it was like a lot of new things were happening at that time. And I felt like essentially it felt like I was just pushed into the deep end of the pool and I had to learn how to swim, you know. And I feel like now, career-wise, I definitely have a much better idea of which direction I want to go towards. Even from a social life aspect, I feel like I'm a lot more established now. So I feel a lot more at peace with, you know, having people to hang out with and having different kinds of friends for different kinds of things that I want to do with them. You know, like I have some creative friends, I have some HEC friends, I have some non-HEC friends, you know. It's like I feel like my social life is in a much better position now than it was 2.5 years back.
And I think you've talked about your approach to making friends in your channel as well. This video named as Funnel Theory, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting video. I'm definitely going to link that in the description. So yeah, you guys can check that out. It was a very interesting video for me as well. Like I came to France like 6 months ago. So I had to also rewire myself. I was working in Deloitte for 2 years. Like I had left college in 2018. So I was kind of, pushed into a different life, the professional life, working in an office like 11 to 8, like 9 to 5, but yeah, 11 to 8 job. And, you know, working for clients. Yeah, it was a different kind of experience. And then all of a sudden I am here, like we were all in a lockdown for quite a few months and then I moved to France. So yeah, that was quite an interesting video. So just if you can just explain how did you get used to this European life when you first came here?
Man, so the thing is, like, I'd actually been to Europe a couple of times before. So I kind of also knew what I was getting into, but not entirely. Because, of course, I'd been here on vacations, but also when I was in 10th standard, I actually had the opportunity to be in Germany for 3 weeks and living with a German family in a small town and actually attending school for 3 weeks in Germany. So I think that experience in 10th grade when I was like 14 years old was what made me realize that, yeah, I want to move to Europe, you know. So I had been exposed to that kind of lifestyle before, but at the same time, of course, it was just 3 weeks. And plus after that, it was just vacation. There's like a big difference between, you know, when you're living with a family who's already well established versus you're living as a student, right? And you're completely by yourself.
Definitely.
So, man, like, I feel like to get used to the European life, it was mostly just like, one, having an open mind, trying out a lot of different things, being really open to talking with different people, being really open to talking, not just with different people, but about different topics, and also
right.
trying out different food, traveling around a bit, really being immersed into the European and particularly the French culture. I feel like also making some French friends really helped with, feeling more settled down here, because it made me feel a little bit more connected to the land, so to speak. And just generally, to be honest, I realized this, that, it's not just moving to Europe that takes time to settle in. It's also just generally, because I remember even Manipal, when I shifted from Bangalore to Manipal for college, it did take me like a year and a half, 2 years, till I really felt like, Manipal was like my home, and I had like a good circle set up, and I felt really like at peace there. So I realized that it's no different when you're moving here as well. At least it was no different for me. It's gonna take like a year and a half till you really feel like you're home here,
So as you said, you came to Germany, I think in your 10th standard, and you even came to HEC for summer school, right? So
yeah.
When you came here, as you knew that it's gonna be a short period, and for summer school it was 2-3 months. For your 10th standard, at that point of time, it was just 3 weeks. So was your approach a bit different when you came like on a short visit, and now when you came for a long term thing? Was your approach different?
Oh yeah, for sure. It makes a big difference. Actually, summer school was 2 weeks. It wasn't 2 or 3 months even.
Oh,
yeah. So it was a pretty short amount of time. But yeah, of course, the approach is completely different. In the summer school, I feel like you want to like maximize your experience as much as possible. So I remember like essentially in summer school at HEC, of course this was 2016, so the situation that we're in right now didn't exist back then. We were having parties almost every single day at like the campus bar, and we were always doing something or the other, like the entire summer school batch. So it was like super cool to be able to meet a lot more people then. But the thing is, I was also much younger back then. I was like, I just finished my second year of college. I don't think I was as, outgoing as I am right now. I feel like me becoming more outgoing was like a developmental thing that happened during college and also during my first year of HEC. But in the summer school, in the German exchange program when I was in the 10th grade, that was a different scene because it was like part of the school. So we already had like a team or like a group, So by default, we already had friends. But when you come as a student for a master's program, you're essentially like by yourself. Unless you're lucky enough to have a bunch of friends who are coming with you, but I guess most of us are not in that position. We're essentially by ourselves, got to make friends from scratch again. And I think at HEC in my first year, again, it was mostly just like being really open-minded and talking to a whole bunch of different people and just essentially pushing myself to experience as much as I could. So I remember, in my first year at HEC, I joined this club on campus called KIP, which was a media club. And that club was founded by a French guy, and it was mostly French people, but they were like very, very keen on having internationals come on board. So it was me and a couple of other international students who were there in that club, and we went on a couple of different trips together. So just imagine it was me, another Indian guy, and like 19 French people on like this trip that we went together. So damn. I did a couple of experiences like that, which I felt like really pushed me out of the box, like really got me out of my comfort zone. And that really got the ball rolling, and I started talking with a lot more people and stuff. And actually the guy who founded that club is one of my best friends now.
And that's great. Like if you're coming to on a different country, you're not just coming for the education, you're coming here for the entire experience. Like you have to indulge in the local language, the local culture, the cuisine, the art and everything. That is why you're coming here. You got to take that whole experience, right?
Yeah, 100%, and I feel like that's really something that helps me connect with people, like particularly with Europeans, because I really try, because I know that for Europeans and for French people in particular, art and culture is super, super important, And so I really try to immerse myself into this culture as much as I can because I'm genuinely interested in it. And also it's a really good point for me to really connect with a lot of people on. So I love, even if it's by myself or with classmates or friends, I love going to museums in Paris with an open mind and really trying to learn about, the artists in the museum, really trying to learn about the art that I see, and, understand as much about the culture as I can. And I feel like that's something that really is really beneficial, because when you're living in this country, it's really important for French people, like their art, right? So by knowing a lot about it is just an automatic point of connection for you.
I can understand this totally. Like I have been making friends since I've come here, so I can understand that everybody who's coming from a different place, be it this country, be it some other country, everybody has their own, thing that they are very proud of. So French people are definitely proud of their culture, their art, and everything. So yeah.
Oh, and their wine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Their wine and the cheese. I mean, honestly, cheese is really not something I was able to get into, but wine, on the other hand, I like drinking wine, and I like exploring the supermarket and trying out different wines every single time and seeing what I like more, seeing what I like less, and it's just really something that I'm trying to get into. But I think wine is a lot harder to get into than art, at least for me.
Okay, now I've had a couple of interesting experiences with cheese in that area. Like I have definitely gone out and taken different kinds of cheese, but some were okay and some were good, very good in fact, but some were not so great. So.
Did you try the blue cheese?
No, not yet. I've been hearing about the blue cheese.
Yeah, you should try the blue cheese.
Let's see. So I think you have worked in Paris as well, right? For quite a few months. So how was that experience like?
So I did work in Paris. I had the opportunity to work in Paris for the second half of my gap year. But unfortunately, after 2 months, due to the situation, my experience was cut short. But in those first 2 months, I had a lot of fun. I became friends with a bunch of other interns at work, and there was like a group of 4 or 5 of us. We would work during the week and we would hang out during the lunch breaks and talk, and it was great. I really liked those guys. And on the weekend we would like try exploring different restaurants, going to different places. I felt like it was a lot of fun. That was the first time actually that I felt like I was living in Paris, because HEC is not in Paris. It's like it's outside of Paris. It's called HEC Paris, but that's a lie. But But I mean, to be honest, it was awesome. I really liked it. ELC, Estee Lauder is it's like MAC Cosmetics where I work. Very, very diverse place, and it's completely English. So I don't think it was like the typical French experience. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I had a great time, working in Paris for 6 months. And even after those 6 months, during the summertime, normally I was planning on, going on a trip and then going back to India. But then because it was 2020, I couldn't do any of that, but I had a great time because for those 2 months, I decided to stay here in Paris. I had a lot of fun hanging out with friends because at that time the situation was a bit better. So we could still go out and do things. Like I went kayaking with some friend. With a friend of mine. I explored the city a lot. I did a lot of bicycling in the city, which was cool. And I even went on I went on a trip to Western France with the same French guy who I told you is a good friend of mine now, who founded the club from my first year. Yeah. I went on a trip with him to his hometown for an entire week. And then him, and then 2 of his childhood friends, we did a trip to Mont Saint-Michel for a weekend. Yeah, it was a great time, honestly. I feel like I had a really fun time working in Paris.
So that was a great experience. I'm looking forward to my time when I get the opportunity to work in Paris. And we do get a lot of questions, like I'm sure you would get them a lot. People are generally scared as to when you're trying to work in Paris, everybody thinks that they require a lot of French, like maybe B2, B1, or C, even up to C1 and C2. Like you said, when you were working for MAC Cosmetics, your entire, the company was English centric and you didn't have the need to, speak so much French. But and I think I have seen a video on your channel as well where you said that you learned French in the last 2 years, how you learned French. So
yeah,
what has your approach been so far with French? Like, do you think it's obviously it's better if you learn French, you get the whole experience, but like how has your approach been through that end?
So on the language side of things, so there's a couple of different points here. One is like social and the other one is like career. And the third one, I guess, is just like personal development and just like your life here in general, So let me approach that one by one. In general, I feel like if your goal is to continue living in France and to really immerse yourself into the culture here, get a job here, even if that job is in English, I really think it's important that you learn French. I think there's really no way around it. Like, France is a very French-centric culture. Like, they don't speak a lot of English here, you know. And even if they do, like, they just prefer to speak French, and that's fine because it's France, of course. From the other aspect, right? So from the social aspect, what I found is that, like, yeah, because of the language, it's of course harder to be friends or to like make friends with French people. Like, I was lucky enough to have made, like, you know, a couple of really good French friends who were super open-minded, and I'm sure if you look hard enough, you will find friends like that. But in general, like, for example, like, of course, pre-2020, you know, if you go into a bar or a club or so, like, it's not that easy to just like start talking to French people if you start talking in English, you know. Like, you really start feeling like, you know, you're really not in it. So even from that aspect, I feel like if you speak French, your life's just going to be way better. Otherwise, you're going to be hanging out with, otherwise, I guess, most of your friends are going to be other expats, which is generally the case for most expats here in France, you know. But now from the career side of things, right? Of course, most jobs here in France require French, but it really also depends on the industry or like the function that you want to work in. So if you're going to be working in very client-facing roles, of course you need to know French. There's no way around it. So if you want to work in consulting, you probably need to know French. If you want to work in finance, a lot of positions do require French as well, particularly when you're doing finance for the French market. I'm not that familiar with the finance side of things, but that's what I know. Now in marketing, of course, there's like, if you're going to be doing marketing for the French market, it's a no-brainer. You gotta know French, right? And I don't think it's just like it's sufficient to know French. You have to be like fluent in it. But the flip side is that Paris, being such a global, large city, right? There's a lot of EMEA headquarters and global headquarters in this city. And when you're doing like an EMEA, when you're working at the EMEA or the global level for a brand, and I'm speaking about marketing here, you know, you don't necessarily need to know French because a lot of the work would be in English, right? So the key, I guess, is just like to find those companies and find those positions which not only are okay with English, but maybe they even want you to have a native or fluent level in English. Definitely. So, but the thing is that, you know, I feel like, yeah, those positions, of course, are much lesser, much fewer in number than, you know, the positions which just require French. So, of course, not knowing French puts you at a disadvantage, but that's not to say that it's impossible to find English-speaking positions in France.
I agree with this point totally. If you really want an English-speaking role, you have to jump at every opportunity that you get, because I can very well say that every expat who's coming here will definitely look for English-speaking roles, even if they have a good command in French. But since we have been trained in English for a long time, we'll definitely try to go for an English-speaking role. So that is something that you need to take care of, and you have to jump at every opportunity. But yeah, if you learn French, definitely your experience is gonna get way better. But
yeah, for sure, you know, because the thing is, for a lot of companies, even if the job that you're doing is in English, the office environment might be in French.
Exactly.
Right? So in order for you to like network with people, to socialize with people, which is a pretty important part of working and you know, really thriving in an office environment, is socialization. But if you don't speak French, that's going to be hard, right? So that's something. But at the same time, I do also feel like depending on the job that you want to do, right, you can even just do a job in French, even with the B2 in French, depending on the job that you're doing. Of course, like if you're doing marketing where you're going to be writing content in French at a B2 level, yeah, that's probably not going to happen at that level. But if, for example, it's not a very client-facing role, you just need to know French because the office environment is in French, I think even having a B2 level in French is fine. So I guess the main point is that, of course, if you want to work in France, the moment you realize that you're going to be moving to France, go to Alliance Française in whatever city you're in, start learning French right then and there. Get as much of a French level as you can, like learn as much of French as you can before coming. Of course, yeah, I go more into detail with this in the video that I made on my channel about how to learn French. But I think that's the gist. Like, if you're coming to France, you want to work in France, learn French. Even if you find a job in English, knowing French is still gonna help you out.
It's definitely going to enhance your experience. And I'm definitely going to link your French video as well, like your approach to French. So anybody who's interested can watch that video. So yeah, that was great. Before we wrap this up, Mayank, is there anything you want to say to people who will be coming to France in the 2021 batch?
Yeah. All right. First thing, learn French. Like, really try to get even some level of French before coming. You know, even if it's A1 or A2 or whatever it is, just like learn French before coming. Because even if you don't plan on working in France, even if you don't plan on staying in France, like even for the time that you're a student in France, having even a basic level of French is going to help you out a lot. Second thing I would want to say is when you come here, keep an open mind. Don't stick with people from the country that you came from. Try and interact with people from all over the place. Because especially if you're coming to a top business school like ESSEC or HEC or even any of the other business schools, you know, the huge plus point about these campuses is that they're so diverse. And this is like your opportunity to learn about different cultures. It's your opportunity to try different things, try different food. You know, of course, when things are better, go to different restaurants and just experiment as much as you can, you know, because that's what you're coming abroad for. And I think that's what's gonna really, really help you grow and enrich your experience even further.
Definitely, like I totally agree with this point. I'm just waiting for a time where things are better and I can even explore France, the different cities in France in itself, and then further the entire Europe. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
man, absolutely.
thank you so much for coming onto my channel. Is there any last words that you want to say to our viewers?
Last words, all right. You should go check out my channel if you haven't checked it out already. Also, Arif, dude, you've been doing such a great job with your videos. I love the hustle. I think, yeah, I've been following your channel since your very first video, since you started it, because I think you reached out to me telling me that, hey, dude, like, I'm starting this YouTube channel, you should check it out. And absolutely been loving the grind. I love, especially recently, how you've been uploading videos very often, very regularly. Awesome. Keep it up, dude. Like, you should, like, yeah, I mean, both of us, we're in this together. And
Definitely.
yeah, we should.
I reached out to you because I was looking up to you. You were already putting up videos about studying in France. So yeah, definitely you were an inspiration and I wanted to make videos about France. That's why I reached out to you in the initial stages as well.
But that's awesome, man. Right now, I feel like we're at this point where we can learn a lot from each other and also collaborate more. So that's really awesome.
Definitely. And yeah, I think this was a very great conversation. Like I have just been in France for the last 6 months and you've been here for around 3 years. So it was great knowing your perspective, you know, how France was and how your experience is right now. So yeah, it was great talking to you and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So yeah, that was a conversation with Mayank and I must say that I really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys were also able to get something out of this conversation. If you liked the video, do make sure to hit the thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel. As always, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.